Have you ever wondered why some people seem calm, centered, and deeply focused first thing in the morning? Why do so many successful individuals rise before the sun? Could simply waking up a little earlier transform not just your day, but your entire life? Picture this. You rise just 30 minutes earlier than usual. The world outside is hushed and still. There's no noise, no rush, just peace. In that quiet, your thoughts are soft, your mind feels clear. What kind of energy would you carry through the rest of your day? How would your mood shift, your focus, your joy? These aren't just random questions. They point to a timeless truth the Buddha taught. Our habits shape our mind, and our mind shapes our life. Waking early is more than just a productivity hack. It's a spiritual practice, a doorway to calm, clarity, and balance. Welcome to Insightful Journey, where we share ancient Buddhist insights to help you live more mindfully every single day. This channel has reached so many, yet only 0.2% of viewers are subscribed. So if you find value in this journey, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue sharing wisdom with others who seek peace. In this first part of our series, we gently uncover the power held in those early morning hours. The Buddha often spoke of mindfulness and clarity, qualities that naturally arise when the mind is well rested and unburdened. The early morning is sacred. The cool air, the soft light, the silence. They create space for the soul to breathe and the mind to awaken. In Buddhism, this time is considered ideal for reflection, intention setting, and reconnecting with your path. When you wake early, you're not just beating the alarm, you're choosing presence over distraction, calm over chaos. That one small act plants a seed of stillness that grows through your entire day. Even the Buddha's own daily rhythm honored this time. He rose before dawn to sit in meditation, to still his thoughts, and to align with deeper truth. You don't need hours, just a few quiet minutes to sit with your breath, to be fully here. Think of your morning like a blank canvas. Rising early allows you to paint it with calm, intention, and peace, rather than stress and rush. Just a few extra minutes of stillness can transform the rest of your day. If you're curious how this simple habit can bring you more clarity, strength, and serenity, stay with us in this series. We'll explore gentle Buddhist teachings and offer practical steps you can begin today. Let the early morning become your secret strength, a quiet teacher, a sacred space where the world holds its breath and your spirit gently wakes. Before the sun rises, before the birds sing, there's a stillness, a precious moment when the world hasn't yet called on you. And in that space you can finally meet yourself. The Zen master wakes early, not out of duty, but because he understands the quiet power of this hour. The world outside is still, but the mind inside becomes fully awake, like a still lake reflecting the first light of dawn. In Buddhist tradition, waking early isn't just about getting a head start. It's about stepping into a time when your mind is soft, open, and ready to receive. The Buddha knew that in these early hours the mind is most gentle, most receptive. To wake early is to honor your life. It's a gift to yourself. A moment to breathe, to listen, to feel the rhythm of your own existence. This is the essence of mindfulness, the root from which true peace begins to grow. Just pause for a moment and imagine this. You're sitting quietly before the sun begins its slow climb across the sky. Your breath is steady, soft. Your mind flows like a gentle stream, unhurried, undisturbed. There are no to-do lists, no screens, no demands, just silence. And in that silence, something extraordinary happens. You feel free. And that kind of freedom is rare in the noise of modern life. Our days are filled with endless tasks, constant notifications, and background worry. But in the early morning, all of that quiets down. The mind becomes like a still mirror, reflecting only what is true, only what is necessary. The Zen master teaches, calmness and wisdom are not born in grand gestures, but in quiet, repeated choices. Waking up early is one of those choices, a simple act of self-care, a quiet rebellion against the chaos of the world. When we rise before the noise, we step outside the current of distraction. We create a sacred space where the mind can settle, where clarity can surface. And with that clarity, we begin to see ourselves clearly, our thoughts, our emotions, without judgment, without confusion. In this way, waking early becomes a kind of liberation. It frees us from the reactive loops that often govern our day. It opens a door to stillness and self-awareness. The Buddha described this as awakening, not just of the body, but of the mind. Just as the sun rises to light the world, we rise to illuminate our own inner landscape. There's a story from the Zen tradition about a monk who struggled with anger and restlessness. He was consumed by his thoughts, overwhelmed by his routine. One morning his teacher gently said, "Come sit with me before dawn." Though tired and unsure, the monk agreed. They sat together in silence while the sky slowly lightened, and something shifted. The monk noticed his anger begin to fade, like a storm passing. His restless mind grew still. He realized then the peace he was chasing had always been there, quietly waiting in the early morning stillness. That moment wasn't about the time of day. It was about presence, about choosing to be here, truly here, before the world tugs us in 100 directions. Morning becomes a sacred ritual, a time to remember what truly matters, to set our intention, to breathe deeply and connect with life, not as a task, but as a gift. As the Zen master teaches, do not rush this moment. Do not fill it with worry or plans. Simply be with your breath, be with the soft light, be with the hush of the world waking around you. In this stillness, wisdom begins to grow, patience takes root, compassion deepens, and slowly you begin to see that every morning is a new beginning. No matter what came before, today is a chance to start again. That understanding, that each day is a fresh start, brings with it a quiet kind of freedom, one that lifts the weight of regret and melts the fear of tomorrow. Waking early is a quiet invitation, an invitation to live simply, gently, and fully. It teaches discipline, not as something rigid or harsh, but as a compassionate guide, a kind friend who reminds you to care for yourself. Your body and mind flourish when they move in harmony, in rhythm, and the quiet morning hours. They naturally align with the rhythm of the earth and the rising sun. In that alignment, there is balance, there is health, there is peace. The Buddha's teachings remind us life is not made of big, dramatic moments, but of many small choices taken with care. And waking early is one of those choices. It's a way of saying yes to presence, yes to clarity, yes to a steady heart in a moving world. As your day unfolds, the stillness you touched in the morning stays with you. You find yourself less reactive, less disturbed by frustration or distraction. Your mind becomes like a steady flame, warm, unwavering, full of light. This flame is your true nature. It's the light that helps you walk through uncertainty without fear. The Zen master offers a gentle beginning. You don't need to change everything at once. Start simply. Wake just a little earlier than you usually do. Sit quietly. Notice your breath. Feel the peace in that pause. Let that silence hold you. And over time, something shifts. That simple practice becomes a sanctuary, a space you can return to anytime life feels heavy. Remember, waking early isn't about perfection. It's about kindness. It's about showing up for yourself, gently, one morning at a time. Each step forward brings more awareness, more peace. As you walk this path, you'll see, waking early doesn't just change your schedule. It begins to change your heart. It brings you closer to the deep, unshakable peace the Buddha spoke of, a peace the world cannot give or take away. So rise with tenderness. Let the morning be your teacher. Let it show you the quiet power of presence. Because in these early hours before the world begins to stir, everything is possible. Listen closely, dear friend. There's a sacred moment just before sunrise, when the world holds its breath and the mind can find perfect stillness. This quiet time is like a hidden treasure, a precious jewel tucked into the darkness. In this hour, mindfulness takes root. The noise of the world hasn't yet arrived. No rushing, no voices, no clutter of thought, only silence. And in that silence, your mind becomes clear. Mindfulness isn't about trying or forcing. It's the gentle art of paying attention, not with judgment, not with urgency, but with kindness. And in the hush before dawn, mindfulness comes naturally. The mind is fresh. Like a still lake with no ripples, it reflects the truth exactly as it is. Think of your mind like a garden. Throughout the day, distractions fall like seeds. Some of them take root, growing into weeds of worry, anger, or fear. But when you tend your garden early, watering it with mindful awareness, those weeds don't grow. Instead, you make space for the flowers of peace, joy, and clarity to bloom. The Buddha taught that mindfulness is the path to freedom. When you are truly present, you are no longer swept away by thought. You simply watch, like a kind observer sitting beside a quiet river. You see your thoughts come and go, but you no longer cling to them. And in that letting go, you find peace. In the early morning, mindfulness comes more gently. The world is still quiet. Distractions haven't yet arrived, and your mind, tired from carrying the weight of yesterday's worries and tomorrow's fears, can finally rest. The present moment opens like a flower. You breathe in deeply. The air fills your body. You breathe out softly. And for a moment, nothing else is needed. Practicing mindfulness before sunrise is like planting seeds of stillness, seeds that grow throughout the day. Yes, the world will stir, busyness will return, but your peace will remain rooted, deep and unshaken, like an ancient tree that has withstood countless storms. You might wonder, how do I begin? It's simple. When you wake, sit quietly. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Bring your attention to your breath. Feel the cool air entering your nose, filling your lungs, and gently flowing out again. There's no need to control anything. Just observe. At first, your mind may jump, like a restless monkey swinging from branch to branch. It will pull you toward memories, plans, or worries. This is normal. Don't be discouraged. Each time you notice your mind has wandered, gently guide it back to the breath. No judgment, no struggle, just a soft return. This gentle return is the practice, and with time, it gets easier. The mind settles, like a pond clearing after the wind dies down. Still clear, reflecting the quiet beauty around it. As your awareness deepens, you begin to notice more. The faint morning sounds, the changing light across your walls, the feeling of your body resting, breathing, simply being. This is how peace begins, not all at once, but slowly, layer by layer, through presence. When your morning begins in stillness, Kindness becomes easier, patience feels more natural, and wisdom arises not from books or effort, but from clarity of heart. The Buddha said, "Mindfulness is the path to the deathless." It shows us how to step beyond suffering, beyond fear, anger, and confusion. It leads us to a freedom that can't be shaken, because it doesn't depend on the outside world. And remember, you don't have to force mindfulness. It's already inside you, like a seed, quietly waiting beneath the soil. The early morning is the perfect time to water that seed with gentle awareness and quiet care. As you continue, you may notice unexpected blessings, clearer dreams, lighter thoughts, a deeper sense of being alive. You begin to see life as it truly is, simple, beautiful, and full of new chances. Many people rush from bed into the noise of the day, but the wise choose differently. They wake early to meet the silence, to greet the dawn like an old friend, welcoming the stillness and the breath that reminds them they're alive. Try this tomorrow. Before the sun rises, wake just a few minutes earlier. Sit. Watch your breath. Let your mind rest in the calm of the morning. You don't need to do anything else. Just be present. And if your mind wanders, smile softly. That too is part of the practice. Every time you return to the breath, you're learning patience. You're cultivating kindness. These are not small things. They are the roots of true happiness. With each passing day, your morning mindfulness will grow. And even when the world becomes noisy and fast, your heart will remain a quiet, steady place. A place where peace lives. In that stillness, you'll begin to understand yourself. You'll see thoughts rise and fall like waves. But you'll learn not to be swept away. Instead, you'll rest in the calm ocean beneath the waves. This is the gift of waking before sunrise. A quiet time to know yourself, to steady your mind, and to begin building a life of deep peace. It's a small shift, but one with great power. The Buddha's teachings are like a lamp, lighting the way. Mindfulness before dawn is the first step. A step toward living not just with an awakened body, but with an awakened heart and mind. And if waking very early feels difficult, don't worry. Start small. Even 5 minutes of quiet before your usual time is enough. Like planting a tiny seed, with care and consistency, it will grow into something beautiful. In time, waking early becomes a joy. Not a task, not a burden, but a sacred offering to yourself. It becomes a space of quiet, a gift of stillness that belongs only to you. No noise, no rush, just presence. You become like a tree, rooted, calm, unmoved by passing storms. Dear friend, this is your invitation. Step gently into the silence before sunrise. Touch the peaceful mind that waits within you. A mind untouched by the world's noise, patiently resting beneath the surface. Each morning brings a new beginning. Each breath is a quiet reminder. You are here. You are alive. You are free to begin again. Waking early is not just a habit. It's the foundation of mindfulness, the quiet doorway to inner peace, and it has the power to transform your life in ways you may never have imagined. The soft whisper of dawn is a sacred teacher. It does not shout, it invites. It calls you out of the darkness, not just to see the world outside, but to awaken the light within. The journey from darkness to light is not only the rising of the sun, it is the awakening of the heart. So listen carefully. When the night is deep and the world sleeps, the mind often carries the weight of yesterday. Thoughts gather like shadows in a dimly lit room. But as dawn breaks, those shadows begin to retreat. The heaviness of night dissolves, and light softly fills the space once occupied by doubt. This is the natural rhythm of life, the dance between dark and light, between confusion and clarity. The Buddha taught that wisdom arises when the mind is still and attentive. But how can we see clearly when we are clouded by exhaustion, stress, or distraction? Dawn offers a rare and precious gift, a moment when the mind is naturally more open, less tangled, ready to receive truth without interference. To cultivate wisdom is to see life as it really is, not as our emotions paint it, but as it unfolds, moment by moment. This awakening begins not with noise, but with silence. Waking before the sun, you find a world still at rest. The silence is not empty. It is full of presence. Sit in that silence. Feel the soft breeze on your skin. Hear the first bird song. Watch how the light slowly begins to touch the world. These are not ordinary moments. They are teachers in disguise. In these sacred hours, the mind becomes still, like a clear pond, unshaken by wind. And just as a still pond reflects the sky without distortion, a calm mind reflects truth without confusion. The Buddha spoke often of mindfulness, of the power of being truly present, of witnessing each moment as it is. Dawn is the perfect time to practice this. In that early light, you begin to notice the quiet miracles, the slow shifting of shadows, the subtle colors of the sky, the silent breathing of the earth. Through this gentle awareness, wisdom begins to bloom. You begin to understand all things arise and pass away. Just as night becomes day, your worries too are temporary. This understanding brings freedom. It softens your grip on fear. It helps you let go. The wise do not fear darkness. They know it is part of life's cycle. Just as night prepares the earth for growth, moments of confusion prepare the mind for awakening. To grow in wisdom is to embrace both shadow and light. And in the clarity of morning, you can begin to see what causes a suffering, not in others, but within yourself. This is the time to reflect. Are your words kind? Are your actions rooted in truth? Are your thoughts helpful? This quiet honesty is the seed of transformation. But do not rush. Wisdom does not bloom overnight. It grows slowly, like a tree, putting down strong roots in silence and time. So when you rise early, do not hurry. Give yourself time to breathe, to sit still, to let the morning open your mind like a flower to the light. In Buddhism, there is a teaching called the middle way. It reminds us to avoid extremes, to seek balance. Waking early is not about force or discipline for its own sake. It's about gently guiding yourself, about choosing a life of rhythm and harmony, where the body and mind move together as one. To rise with the dawn is to walk a path that sages and monks have followed for centuries. It is to align with nature, to align with truth, to return to your own center, softly, steadily, and fully awake. When you align yourself with the rhythm of the morning, peace begins to blossom. You're no longer struggling against time or pushing against the natural rhythm of your body. Instead, you begin to move with life, not behind it, not ahead of it, but with it. This movement is the current of wisdom. It carries you gently, from confusion to clarity, from restlessness to calm. Each time you wake early, you step into this current. You open the door to a deeper understanding of yourself and of the world around you. Many people believe wisdom is found only in books or through teachers. But true wisdom is simpler, quieter. It's found in lived experience. It's in those small moments. Watching the sky change colors, hearing the stillness before the world awakens, sitting with yourself without needing to fix or change anything. Try this tomorrow. Before the sun rises, wake gently. Sit in silence. Close your eyes or rest your gaze. Listen. What do you hear? What do you feel? Notice the silence within you. Notice the peace that is already there. Your thoughts may come and go. Like clouds passing across the morning sky, you don't need to chase them or push them away. Just watch. This simple act of watching is meditation. This gentle awareness is the path to wisdom. As the sky slowly brightens, bring your attention to your breath. Feel the air entering your body and then leaving softly. Your breath is not just air. It is a bridge between body and mind. When the breath is steady, the mind becomes steady. And in this stillness, wisdom begins to emerge. Now, reflect gently. What kind of person do you want to be today? How do you want to show up in the world? What energy do you wish to carry into your relationships, your work, your thoughts? This reflection is like planting a small seed. You do not need to force it to grow. Just water it with care. Your morning practice becomes the sunlight, the rain, the soil. It nourishes this seed of intention, and as your day unfolds, let this light guide you. Let the clarity and calm of dawn move through your actions. When challenges arise, remember the stillness you touched. Return to it in your mind. Carry it like a candle. Wisdom is not a prize to be won. It is the natural light that appears when the mind becomes clear. It is the understanding that we are all part of something larger, something interconnected. Dawn reminds us of this, that no matter how long the night was, the light always returns. This cycle, darkness giving way to light, is the foundation of hope and the soil where wisdom grows. Do not fear your own shadows. Do not resist the silence. Let the early hours soften you. Use this sacred time to cultivate patience, compassion, and insight. Like the Buddha, you can use these hours to deepen your practice, to sit, to breathe, to reflect. The journey from darkness to light is also a journey inward, a path of remembering who you truly are beneath the layers of worry, beneath the noise of thought. Each morning offers you a chance to begin again. Each dawn is not just another day. It's a sacred companion, a quiet teacher, a faithful friend. The light of dawn does not rush or force. It simply invites, gently, silently. Follow that invitation with an open heart. In the soft light of awareness, wisdom begins to grow. And that wisdom will guide you, not only through your day, but through your life. As the night fades and the light returns, so too will your understanding deepen. Walk gently, from darkness into light. Beneath the ancient Bodhi tree, the Zen master sat in silence. The soft morning light filtered through the branches above, and the world was still. In that sacred stillness, he spoke. His voice was quiet, steady, carrying the weight of many dawns lived and many truths realized. "Friend," he said, "have you noticed how the very first moments of a day set the tone for all that follows? Like the first brushstroke on a blank canvas, your early choices shape the colors of the entire day. This is no accident. This is karma." He looked into the distance, not as if he were looking at the world, but as if he were seeing beyond it. "Karma is often misunderstood," he continued. "It's not punishment or reward handed down by some distant force. It is simply the law of nature, the echo of your actions returning to you. Every thought, every choice, every breath sends out a ripple. When you wake early," he said, "you plant a seed of intention in the fertile soil of your mind, and that seed grows quietly, steadily, shaping your path, your energy, your day." He smiled, warm and kind. "If you rise with the sun, before the noise of the world begins, you give your mind a chance to be still, to be clear, to be open. And that stillness becomes a gift, not only for yourself, but for everyone you meet." He paused and then told a story. Once, A young disciple came to the Buddha and asked, "How can I change my future?" The Buddha replied, "Change your present." The Buddha once said, "Change your mind at dawn. Let your first thoughts be of peace, of compassion, of wisdom." And the young disciple listened. He began to practice this each morning, greeting the day not with urgency, but with stillness, not with worry, but with intention. In time, something beautiful began to happen. His life softened, opportunities found him, wounds began to heal, and his heart, once heavy, felt lighter. The Zen master smiled, eyes twinkling. "Each morning," he said, "is a chance to create new karma, fresh and pure. By waking early, you step out of the cycle of reaction and into the cycle of intention. You choose how you enter the day. You choose the energy you carry. But when we wake late, we often rush. We begin our day in tension, already behind, already anxious, and this creates restless karma, a momentum of frustration, impatience, and regret. But when we rise before the sun, we begin with gentleness, with breath, with presence." The Zen master folded his hands calmly and said, "The mind is like a garden. If you plant seeds of anxiety or anger in the morning, they will grow throughout the day, blooming into restlessness and sorrow. But if you plant seeds of peace in the quiet soil of dawn, your mind will bloom with calm, clarity, and quiet joy." He offered a simple meditation. As you rise, sit quietly for a few breaths. Feel the stillness around you. Watch your thoughts, without chasing or clinging. And then, imagine planting a small seed of kindness in your heart. Watch it grow slowly, gently, nourished by the morning light. Then he spoke of impermanence. Every morning is new. Yesterday's burdens do not have to follow you. Karma is not fixed. It is fluid, changing with every thought, every choice. Waking early is not just about time. It's about awareness. To wake early is to wake within. The world may still sleep, but within you, a quiet light begins to shine. The Master invited all to try. For 1 week, rise with the sun. Do not rush. Breathe deeply. Begin with gratitude for breath, for life, for a new chance. Notice how your mind responds. Notice how your heart begins to soften. He shared the story of a monk once troubled by anger and fear. This monk began to wake before dawn. Not to do, but simply to be. To sit, to breathe, to watch. And slowly, his anger dissolved, fear turned to courage, his life transformed. Not all at once, but gently, with time. This path, the Master said, is not a race. Do not be harsh with yourself. Growth is like a seed. It takes time and care. He ended with a teaching on balance. Waking early is a gift, not just for the mind, but for the soul. It pulls us away from chaos, from distraction, and brings us back to harmony. It is the first step on the path to wisdom. The mornings, he whispered, are your foundation. Build them strong. Build them with care. Your future rests upon how you begin your day. In the quiet before the sun rises, there is a sacred moment, a moment when the world is still and the mind is clear. This is the birthplace of your first thought, and that thought is a seed. What kind of seed will you plant? Will it bloom into a flower of kindness, or become a thorn of fear, of restlessness, of anger? The Zen Master says, your first thought shapes the entire garden of your mind. Wake with compassion, and your heart will unfold, like the lotus flower blooming in the light of morning. Compassion is not just a feeling. It is a choice. It is an action of the heart. To be compassionate to yourself in the morning is to set the tone for gentleness, for patience, for love, toward yourself and all beings. When you begin the day in this way, you don't just rise. You awaken. The Buddha taught that all beings seek happiness and wish to avoid suffering. When you rise early, you're gifted with a sacred window, a chance to remember this truth not just in thought, but in the silence of your own heart. In these first quiet moments of the day, you can send out thoughts of peace, like soft rays of morning sunlight warming the earth. Let your first thought be a light, shining gently into the darkness, reminding you of your intention to be kind, to help, to understand. Like a single candle lighting another, your compassion, even unspoken, can ripple outward, touching lives you may never know. The Zen master teaches, one compassionate thought can change the world, beginning with your own mind. When practiced daily, waking early becomes more than a habit. It becomes a spiritual practice. It softens you, centers you, and slowly transforms your life. Consider this simple morning ritual. Upon waking, before the noise, before the rush, close your eyes. Take a deep, slow breath. Feel the air enter and leave your body. Then gently bring to mind a simple wish. May I be well. May I be happy. May I live with ease. Now extend that wish to others, your family, your friends, your neighbors, and even those who challenge you. May you be well. May you be happy. May you live with ease. In that quiet moment, your heart opens. Compassion begins to flow. It may seem small, just a thought, but it carries great power. Over time, it softens the edges of your mind and creates space for peace to bloom. The Zen master says, the roots of compassion grow deepest in the calm soil of the early morning. Why is this time so powerful? Because the mind is not yet crowded. The world hasn't rushed in. There are no headlines, no demands, only silence, only stillness. It is a pure moment, the perfect time to plant seeds of love without interruption. Compassion in the morning is like water for the garden of the mind. Without water, even the best seeds cannot grow. Without compassion, your thoughts can dry up or turn wild. By choosing kindness as your first act, you nourish your inner world, and the outer world, too, begins to change. The master often tells a story. A student once asked, "How can I make my heart kinder?" The master replied, "Each morning, greet yourself with compassion, and the heart will learn to bloom." This is the essence of waking early, not just to begin the day, but to begin it well. To use the quiet as a teacher, to shape the day before it shapes you. Remember, compassion is not always easy. The world can feel harsh. People may be unkind. But your morning thought becomes your sanctuary, a soft shield around your mind, a gentle strength inside your chest. Even if the day brings challenges, you'll carry with you the seed you planted at sunrise, and that seed will whisper to you, be patient, be kind, stay open. Waking early is a sacred gift, valued by the Buddha and by countless spiritual teachers. It aligns you with the truth of compassion, a truth the world desperately needs. When you send out loving kindness at dawn, you become a quiet beacon of peace, for yourself and for all beings. Like ripples across a still pond, your first thought travels further than you know. Try this tomorrow. Observe your first thought. Is it anxious? Is it loving? Is it judgmental? If it's not kind, do not scold yourself. Simply return, gently, to compassion. This is the practice. Patient, persistent, gentle. The Zen master encourages this daily vow. Today, I will begin with a compassionate thought. Over time, this vow will not only reshape your mornings, it will reshape your life. Because the power of waking early is not in the time you gain, but in the choice you make. The choice to begin with peace, to plant kindness, to grow love. Before the world even opens its eyes, may your mornings be gentle, may your thoughts be kind, and may your days rise like the sun, full of light, warmth, and grace. In the stillness before the sun fully rises, the world is alive with soft, sacred sound. Among these, the song of birds is the purest, the gentlest. Can you hear them? Each bird sings in its own way. Not rushed, not forced, just present. In these quiet moments, the mind can learn from them. The Zen master says, observe the birds. They do not worry about the future. They do not regret the past. They live fully in this moment, this now. The first lesson of morning, listening to the birds. In the hush of early morning, when the sky is soft and the world is still, there's a teacher often overlooked. The birds. They sing not to impress, not to achieve, but simply because it is time to sing. This is the first lesson the birds offer us. When you sit quietly in their presence, your breath begins to slow, your heart softens, and your restless mind starts to settle. The birds are not troubled by the worries we carry. They do not dwell on yesterday. They do not race toward tomorrow. Their gentle presence invites us to stop chasing, and simply be. To meditate with the birds is not to escape the world, but to return to it, with clarity. It means listening deeply, not just to their song, but to the silence between their notes. This silence is sacred. It is where peace begins to grow. You may wonder, how can a bird help me with my stress, my anger, or confusion? The answer lies not in what they say, but in how they live. Birds follow the rhythm of nature. They rise with the light, gather their nourishment, sing their song, and rest when night comes. They don't resist life. They don't cling. They flow, gracefully, patiently. In Buddhism, this is called equanimity, a calm heart that neither clings to pleasure nor resists discomfort. And in the stillness of morning, when you sit quietly and breathe with the birds, you begin to feel this, too. Picture this. You sit near a window or in a quiet garden. The morning air is cool against your skin. A soft breeze moves the leaves. And somewhere nearby, a bird begins to sing. Instead of rushing toward thought or planning your day, you listen. You let that song anchor you. Your mind, once noisy and scattered, begins to still, like mist fading beneath the rising sun. This is meditation, simple, natural, healing. The Zen master says, birds do not carry yesterday's troubles. They do not rush toward tomorrow's fears. They are free because they live only in this moment. We too can taste this freedom, not by escaping our responsibilities, but by meeting life with calm and clarity. In morning meditation with the birds, we begin to face challenges, not with panic, but with presence. Another quiet lesson the birds offer is patience. A bird waits for the perfect moment to sing, to fly, or to find food. It does not rush. It does not force. It trusts. In our modern world, patience is rare. We want fast answers, instant relief, quick results. But the Buddha teaches all things unfold in their own time. Just as the bird waits for the right moment, we must learn to wait with faith and stillness. When you do, your mind stops grasping. You stop fighting life. You become like a tree, bending gently with the wind, rooted and calm. Birds also teach us about community. In the early hours, their songs blend into a single chorus, each voice unique, but all part of one whole. This is a mirror of our lives. Though we are individuals, we are never alone. Your peace affects others. Your clarity brings calm to the people around you. The Zen master reminds, be like the birds. Sing your own song with kindness. Listen to others with love. In harmony, the heart finds joy. This is not a complicated practice. You need no tools, no special room, just a quiet place, a softened heart, and the willingness to listen. As the sun climbs and the birds take flight, their song fades into the busyness of day. But the stillness they gave you in the morning, that remains. It becomes your sanctuary, a memory to carry when life feels stormy. And that memory whispers, you are not alone, you are not powerless, you are not the chaos, you are the calm beneath it. Meditation with the birds is not just for mornings, it's a way of living, a way of remembering. The Zen master says, each day is like a new song. If you miss it today, return to it tomorrow. The dawn always comes again. In the rush of modern life, we often forget how to be present. But the birds never forget. They call to us again and again. Slow down, breathe, live fully. Try this tomorrow morning. Wake a little earlier. Find a quiet spot. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes if you wish. Listen deeply. Let their songs fill your heart. Let them clear your mind. Don't analyze. Don't chase thoughts. Just be. That simple act opens a door to peace. No trouble can close. The birds also teach resilience. They face storms, hunger, danger. Yet each morning they rise and they sing. This is courage, not loud or proud, but quiet, steady, true. When you face hardship, remember the bird's song. You too have a voice. You too have strength. Meditating with the birds helps you remember your place in nature, your power to heal, your ability to begin again. The birds are not just creatures of the sky. They are messengers of the Buddha's wisdom, of your own deep truth. Sit with them, learn from them, and rise gently into the new day with a still mind and an open heart. The gift of morning, mindfulness, routine, and the song of life. In the hush of early morning, before the world stirs and sound fills the air, there lies a sacred opportunity. This is not just the time to awaken the body. It is a quiet invitation to awaken the mind and spirit. When you rise with the dawn, you meet the day not with hurry, but with stillness, not with noise, but with gentle intention. In this moment, the world feels alive in a new way. The birds sing softly in the trees, and their songs carry ancient wisdom, lessons in simplicity, patience, and joy. They invite you to live as they do, free from fear, full of kindness, present in each breath. As the light begins to grow, pause, take a deep breath, feel gratitude for this peaceful hour. The Zen master smiles and says, "This is the gift of the morning. Hold it close. It will guide you always." To meditate with the birds is to remember that you are never alone. The world is alive with unseen support. If only you open your senses and your heart. Their songs become a rhythm you can live by. Let them lead you inward to the stillness within. Let them become a part of your life, not just once but often. This is the path of awakening, the path of the Zen master and of the Buddha alike. Routine as a spiritual practice. Many people think of routine as dull, a mechanical rhythm, something to endure. But in truth, routine can be sacred. It can be a path, a quiet trail leading toward peace, clarity, and inner freedom. Each step of that daily routine, from waking to stretching to sitting in silence, becomes a step on the mountain path, leading to the summit of understanding. The Buddha did not teach discipline as punishment. He taught it as an act of love, a kindness to oneself. Waking early is the first gentle act of discipline. It is a small, victorious whisper that says, "I choose presence. I choose peace." When the sky is just beginning to brighten, the mind is at its most receptive. It is rested from the night, but not yet tangled in the noise of the world. This is why the Zen master rises at this hour, not from duty, but from deep respect for this precious time, to be fully here. The morning as ceremony. The morning routine need not be grand or complex. Even the simplest acts, washing your face, stretching your limbs, lighting a single candle, or sitting in silence, can become sacred rituals. They are small offerings of mindfulness. Each moment becomes a prayer, each breath an act of devotion. This discipline is not about perfection. The Zen path welcomes both cloudy mornings and clear ones. Some days the mind may wander like restless wind. Other days it may rest as still as a quiet pond. What matters is that you return again and again, with gentleness and patience, like a river flowing slowly but surely toward the ocean. Waking early as a noble practice. To wake early and mindfully is to plant the seeds of patience, self-respect, and clarity. You offer kindness to your future self, the self that will carry this peace throughout the day. This is the beginning of a noble path. In the teachings of the Buddha, the Noble Eightfold Path is a guide to end suffering and walk the road to true happiness. It includes right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Waking early supports these qualities effortlessly. Right effort, the gentle discipline to create wholesome habits. Waking early is a wholesome choice. Not a battle, but a joyful step toward inner freedom. Right mindfulness, the art of being fully here in this moment. The early hours, quiet and undisturbed, are perfect for anchoring in the present. Through breath, stillness, or simple awareness. Right. Concentration, the calm focus that arises naturally when mindfulness is steady and the mind is not scattered. Let your morning become the root of the day. When you begin your day with clarity and calm, you carry that calm with you. You are less shaken by the winds of conflict or distraction. You respond rather than react. You walk through your day rooted in the peace of your morning practice. This is the secret many overlook. How you begin your day shapes how you live your day. And how you live your day shapes the life you are creating. So, wake early. Not out of pressure, but out of love for what is possible. Breathe deeply. Sit quietly. Listen to the birds. Let the stillness guide you. And walk gently into the day with clarity and grace. The morning is not just the start of the day. It is the seed of a new way of living. May you rise with kindness. May you begin with peace. And may your life blossom from these quiet beginnings. The power of waking early, mindfulness, routine, and the quiet path to freedom. In the stillness of the early hour, something sacred awaits. The world hasn't rushed in yet. The distractions are quiet, and the mind, untouched by the demands of the day, has space to breathe. This space is where your attention deepens naturally, without force. And from that depth of attention, insight arises. You begin to see the movements of your own mind clearly, thoughts rising and falling, emotions coming and going, none of them lasting, none of them truly you. To honor this sacred time each day with a steady morning practice is to plant the seeds of harmony. It creates space for kindness, clarity, and compassion toward yourself and toward others. And when life becomes overwhelming, this practice becomes your root. A strong, grounded tree that does not bend in the storm. Why is routine so powerful? Because the mind is a creature of habit. If we do not train it, it will wander endlessly, pulled by cravings, fears, and distractions. Habit can enslave us, or it can set us free. When you choose a mindful morning routine, You turn habit into an ally. Each repetition strengthens the roots of awareness and wisdom. Many wish to wake early, but they struggle. This is natural. The Zen teaching is simple. Be patient. Be kind to yourself. Like a gardener nurturing a young seedling, you don't pull it to grow. You water it gently, day by day. Start small. Even 5 minutes of stillness before the rush of day is a quiet victory. Let it grow naturally into longer moments of meditation, reflection, or mindful movement. The important thing is continuity, the willingness to show up again and again with gentleness. The morning is your chance to set the tone of the day. Like a calm lake reflects the sky, your mind reflects peace and clarity, if given the chance. Routine is not a cage. It is a bridge from the sleep of unconsciousness to the awakening of true awareness. When you live this way, you begin to see the quality of your thoughts, your words, your emotions. You catch yourself before reacting. You soften where you might have judged. You breathe instead of bracing. You respond with presence instead of panic. The ripples of a calm. Beginning. This isn't just about the morning. A calm beginning carries through the entire day. Even when challenges arrive, they feel lighter. You face them with a steady heart, not a scattered mind. The Zen master teaches, routine is not restriction. It is freedom. Freedom from chaos, from confusion, from suffering. It is a daily return home. To your breath, to your body, to your true self. Calm, clear, and awake. Do not underestimate the power of a simple morning routine. It is the quiet fire that lights the whole day. The Buddha said that even small, consistent efforts can lead to the end of suffering. The path begins at dawn. Waking early becomes a sacred ceremony. Not something forced, but something chosen with intention. Stepping off the wheel. Listen closely, dear seeker. There's a great wheel, endlessly turning, the cycle of birth and death, of craving and fear. In Buddhism, it is called samsara. This wheel spins because the mind clings to desire, to identity, to fear, to comfort. And as long as we cling, we spin. But there is a way to step off this turning wheel. It begins simply, by waking before the world rushes in. In the quiet of morning, the mind is soft, like a still lake, untouched by wind. When you rise early, you give yourself the gift of seeing clearly. The wheel cannot bind a clear mind. The mind that is rested and awake does not grasp at shadows. During the day, the mind is like a monkey, swinging from thought to thought, restless and loud. But in the early morning, the monkey sits quietly. It watches. It breathes. This stillness is the beginning of detachment, not coldness, but true freedom. Freedom from being pushed and pulled by every thought or emotion. Detachment is the calm that remains when we stop clinging. It is loving deeply, without losing ourselves. Letting go in the morning light. The morning teaches impermanence. The night passes, the sun rises, nothing stays the same. You see that clinging is like trying to hold water in your hands. It slips through your fingers. So why grasp? By waking early, you learn to watch without holding. You observe thoughts without chasing them. You notice the breath rising and falling, and realize that you too can simply be. This watching is meditation. This watching is power. When the mind watches, the wheel weakens. You only lose what you cling to, the Buddha said. With each morning practice, the mind strengthens. It becomes like a young horse once wild, now calm and steady. It walks beside you with grace. Detachment is not withdrawal. It is deep presence without being trapped. It is walking through life awake. So rise early. Rise with intention. Let the first light touch your heart. Let each breath be a quiet vow. Today, I choose peace. Today, I return to myself. This is the quiet path of awakening. This is the noble way. And it begins, not with a grand gesture, but with a single breath in the silence before dawn. The 4 foundations at daybreak, observing the mind in the morning. The early morning is a quiet teacher. It opens your heart like a lotus flower, gently, without force. In the soft light of dawn, you begin to see clearly. Pain comes, joy comes, both passes. You learn not to hold too tightly to either. This freedom, this release from clinging, is the true gift of waking early. As the sun rises higher, the world becomes loud and fast. The wheel of life begins to spin. But the calm you cultivated in the morning remains within you, a quiet place you can return to at any moment. Do not fear the wheel, but do not be caught by it either. The power to step off the spinning wheel begins with one simple act: rising early and watching your mind with kindness. The wheel turns because we are asleep inside it. But early wakefulness is a gentle awakening. It shines light on the darkness of habit, craving, and illusion. With each dawn, you are invited to awaken, not just in body, but in mind and heart. Watch your breath. Watch your thoughts. Watch your feelings. Do not fight them. Do not hold them. Just see. In that simple act of seeing, the wheel begins to slow. The chains of desire loosen. Step by step, you walk toward freedom. The wheel is strong, but your quiet mind is stronger. Wake early. Sit quietly. Let the wheel turn without you. The 4 foundations of mindfulness in the stillness before the world stirs. You are gifted a rare moment to observe yourself deeply, without judgment, without rushing. The Buddha taught 4 foundations of mindfulness, 4 ways to know the mind and body, to understand life clearly and compassionately. Waking early offers the perfect time to practice these foundations. Mindfulness of the body. Simply observe your body. How does it feel? Is it heavy or light? Tense or relaxed? How does the breath move, deep or shallow, fast or slow? Feel the cool air on your skin. Notice the softness of your blanket, the steady rhythm of your breath. You don't need to change anything. Just notice. This attention to the body grounds you in the now, mindfulness of feelings. Feelings are more than happiness or sadness. They include every flicker of sensation inside you. Maybe there's peace, maybe tension, a touch of worry, a hint of excitement. They arise and pass like clouds in the sky. When you wake early and observe these feelings without clinging or resisting, you begin to understand their true nature, always changing, never fixed. Mindfulness of the mind. Now observe the mind itself. What is it doing? Is it clear or clouded? Is it focused or scattered? This is like sitting by a river, watching the water flow. Some days it runs clear. Some days it's muddy. But you don't jump in. You simply watch. This watching reveals patterns. When the mind is calm, when it's reactive, when it wanders. And in watching, wisdom grows. Mindfulness of mental objects. These are your thoughts, memories, ideas, intentions, and even sights and sounds around you. Perhaps the mind brings up a to-do list. Maybe you hear birds outside, or remember a dream. Instead of chasing or pushing away, simply observe. See how everything is temporary. This mindfulness helps you hold the world more lightly. Polishing the mirror. Practicing these 4 foundations in the early morning is like polishing a mirror. That mirror is your mind, and when it is clear, it reflects life as it truly is, without distortion, fear, or craving. Many people rush into the day without noticing these small but profound things. They wake, jump up, and run forward. But the Buddha taught us to pause, to meet the morning with awareness. That pause is sacred. A peaceful mind is a strong mind. Imagine waking before the sun. You sit quietly, breathe deeply, your body relaxes, your feelings settle, your thoughts float gently by, the sounds of nature awaken around you. In this stillness, your mind becomes like the morning sky, clear, bright, and peaceful. This peaceful mind is strong. It can face challenge without fear. It responds with wisdom, not reaction, with compassion, not defensiveness. The early morning is a natural teacher, offering space, silence, and softness. During the day, you're pulled in 100 directions. But in the gentle light of dawn, you are free to be fully present. That presence doesn't stay locked in the morning. It follows you through the day. When difficulty arises, you can return to that place within you. The stillness of early morning. This is the quiet revolution of mindfulness. A new day, a new breath, a new chance to live with clarity, calm, and compassion. The Buddha taught that mindfulness is the path to liberation. By becoming aware of the body, feelings, thoughts, and mental patterns, we begin to wake up from the illusion. We start to see life clearly. No longer trapped in confusion or suffering, we begin to live with clarity. Waking early is a simple but powerful step in building this habit of mindfulness. It's a commitment to yourself, a promise to care for your body and mind with gentleness and awareness. The Buddha also reminded us of a universal truth. Everything is impermanent. Mornings fade into afternoons, emotions shift, and thoughts pass. When we watch these changes mindfully, we stop clinging, we stop resisting. Instead, we flow with life. And in that flow, we find true freedom, freedom from fear, stress, and suffering. By practicing the 4 foundations of mindfulness each morning, observing the body, feelings, mind, and phenomena, we strengthen our inner world. Like a deeply rooted tree, we become calm and steady, even in life's storms. Try this tomorrow. Before leaving your bed, pause. Feel your body, notice your breath, observe your thoughts and emotions gently. Listen to the silence. No need to judge, change, or analyze. Just be. With time, this becomes second nature. It becomes a quiet source of strength. The power of waking early isn't just in the hour. It's in the state of mind it cultivates. In that stillness, peace arises. In that presence, wisdom grows. The early morning is a sacred moment, a gift. The world is still quiet, and your mind has space to settle. This is the time monks treasure. The Buddha himself honored these silent hours. To live like a monk doesn't mean abandoning the world. It means starting your day with awareness, with purpose. When the first light touches the sky, the monk is already awake, calm, present, and unhurried. These quiet hours are for deep reflection, for nurturing the spirit, for listening inward. Imagine waking with the sun, feeling the morning air and sitting with your breath. This is not just early rising. It is intentional awakening. The body moves before the distractions arrive. Though the world outside is dark, inside there is light. In this early quiet, the monk reconnects with nature, with breath, with truth. The stillness of the morning reflects the stillness they seek within. This calm becomes the anchor for the day. Living like a monk is not about escape. It's about presence. It's remembering what matters before the noise begins. Waking early helps the mind stay fresh and open, free from the day's clutter. Monks use this time to meditate, to practice loving kindness, and to deepen their insight. In silence, the mind can see clearly, free from fear, craving, or anger. When you adopt this practice, you carry peace into the day. It becomes your inner shield. Challenges still arise, but your heart remains steady, and your mind clear. At first, waking early is difficult. The body wants rest, the mind wants to linger. But with practice, it becomes joyful, a quiet, nourishing joy that arises from within, not from anything outside. Each morning is a gift waiting to be opened. Monks live simply. They don't need stimulation to feel alive. The dawn and the breath are enough. There's richness in this simplicity. By rising with the sun and resting with the moon, monks align with nature's rhythm. This harmony brings health and balance to both body and mind. In the early hours, monks reflect on impermanence. They see the dew on the leaves, briefly shining, then gone. Life is just as fleeting, just as precious. This truth isn't sad. It's liberating. It reminds us to live fully, to love deeply, and to let go with grace. To wake early like a monk is to begin each day with gratitude for breath, for body, for the chance to practice kindness and awareness. You don't need to live in a monastery to follow this path. You can wake early in your own home, create your own sacred space, and build a quiet, intentional start to your day. Living like a monk is not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about showing up for yourself again and again, with compassion. When you rise before the world stirs, you step into stillness, and in that stillness, you find yourself. This is the Buddha's gift, a path to freedom through mindful awakening. Waking early becomes a bridge, a link between the outer world and your inner peace. It joins your actions to your awareness, your mornings to your purpose. This is what it means to live like a monk. To wake early is to choose awareness, kindness, and calm at the very beginning of your day. The habits you build in the morning ripple through your entire life. They shape how you handle challenges, how you treat others, and how you see yourself. The Buddha taught that no action is too small to matter. Waking early may seem simple, but it has the power to transform your mind. It trains you to be steady, gentle, and free. The monk's way reminds us, early rising is not a burden, it's a blessing. It's a chance to live each day fully awake, fully alive. When you rise with the monks, you connect with a tradition that spans thousands of years, a lineage of peace, wisdom, and compassion. This path is not distant or reserved for the few. It's open to anyone willing to rise with the sun and breathe mindfully. In those early hours, you can plant the seeds of self-love and compassion for others. You can watch your thoughts drift by like clouds in the sky. You can feel the steady rhythm of life within you. To live like a monk means carrying that morning peace throughout your day. It means waking up to who you are, before the world tells you who to be. It means honoring the sacredness of each new beginning. This practice is simple, yet powerful. All it asks is your attention, your presence. In the stillness of dawn, you realize that waking early is not just about rising. It's about awakening to life itself. And in that awakening, the path to true freedom reveals itself. Listen closely, dear friend. The dawn of understanding is here. Early morning is not just a time on the clock. It's a sacred doorway, a threshold where your real journey begins. With the first light, while the world still sleeps, you have the chance to awaken, not just your body, but your heart and your awareness. Think of your mind as a still pond. When you wake early, before the noise of the day begins, the water is calm. You can see your reflection clearly. But if you wake late and rush, the surface is disturbed, and it becomes hard to see who you are or where you're going. Waking early is choosing stillness. It's a quiet act of self-respect. a peaceful rebellion against the rushing habits that pull you away from inner balance. Many believe early rising is just about discipline, but it's more than that. It's about honoring life itself, honoring the breath in your lungs, the beat of your heart, and the clarity your mind is capable of. When the Buddha rose early, it wasn't just to begin his day, it was to return to himself, to reconnect with compassion and truth. You can do the same. Each morning is a new beginning, a chance to choose peace over stress, clarity over confusion, love over anger. These quiet hours are a gift. While the world still sleeps, your soul is ready to shine. Use this time to sit with your breath, to feel the air on your skin, to notice the quiet hum of life awakening around you. Don't rush, don't push, simply be. This presence will stay with you. When life gets difficult, and it will, you can return to the calm you built in the morning. That morning stillness becomes your shield, your anchor, your source of strength. The power of waking early isn't in the clock, it's in how you choose to use those hours. Will you fill them with distraction or with awareness? The choice is always yours. Buddhism teaches the middle way, not extremes, but balance. Waking early is part of that balance. It's not about forcing yourself or indulging in laziness. It's about gentle, consistent effort that leads to freedom. When you rise with the sun, you tune into nature's rhythm. You move with the breeze, bloom with the flowers, sing with the birds. You no longer fight the flow of life. You become part of it. The morning also teaches patience. To rise early is to trust in the slow unfolding of the day. It's to understand that everything blooms in its own time. And in that quiet surrender, you find peace. You begin to understand that growth cannot be forced, neither in nature nor within the mind. In the quiet of early morning, you catch a glimpse of your true self, not the self weighed down by fear or desire, but the self that is open, clear, and full of love. This is the heart of all spiritual practice, and it begins in the simplest way, by waking early, by choosing stillness over haste, by planting seeds of mindfulness before the world stirs. So, dear friend, as we come to the end of this reflection, carry this final truth with you. Waking early is a gift you offer yourself each day, a gift of peace, a gift of clarity, a gift of strength. It is the quiet wisdom that grows slowly, like a tree, rooted and unwavering. Practice this gently, without pressure or judgment. Like tending a tender seedling, return to it each morning with patience and care. And remember, every sunrise is a fresh start, an invitation to release yesterday's weight and greet the day with an open heart. This is the quiet power of waking early. This is the path to living fully awake. May your mornings be calm, may your days be light, and may your heart always carry the stillness of the dawn. Walk gently on this path. You are never alone. The whole universe rises with you. Thank you for walking this journey with me. May your life be guided by wisdom and filled with peace.